fault, Corona. Sorry I yelled at you.
Good night, Daddy.
Don't call me that.
I'm sorry I made a dookie in the bird bath again.
Well, accidents happen, Colt. Sometimes accidents happen with a loaded gun to little horse monsters who never learn from their mistakes. Just remember to use your litter box next time, okay?
Can you tell me a story?
No.
Tell me about the old days when being a brony was cool.
You like those old stories, huh? Well, that was a long time ago.
Oh, come on! Please!
Okay. How about I tell you a story about one of my favorite episodes from Season 1. Friendship is Magic, the two-part pilot episode, is just that, a two-part pilot episode. It introduces all the major characters and major themes, it's a classic, but it's not usually the episode I would recommend to someone if I wanted to show them what I like about this show. It's a good episode and a decent introduction, but it gives off the impression that this is going to be an adventure-heavy Sailor Moon-style good versus evil show, which is cool for little girls, but if the show were just that, then it wouldn't have been as massively successful as it ended up being with older audiences. It wasn't until the third episode that I felt like the show had grabbed me, as that's when it clicked that this show was just as comfortable doing sitcom-y, situational, slice-of-life stories as it was adventure and excitement. Adventure? Excitement? Ah! A neckbeard craves not these things. Episode 3, The Ticket Master, is what I consider to be the real first episode of the series, and to this day it's still one of my favorite episodes. Not for any particularly complicated reason. It's not like there's any huge character growth or intricate world building. The show was still very much in the process of introducing the main characters in the world, and that's what makes it so enjoyable to watch. Episodes 1 and 2 drop you into a world and let you meet some new friends. But episode 3 is where those friends start showing you just how much fun you can have in this world together. The Ticketmaster represents Friendship is Magic at its absolute most pure essence. There's no pretenses about it. It's girly, colorful, positive, simple, charming, funny, cute, and completely untouched by outside factors, as well as unaware of the pop culture phenomenon it would become. That lack of awareness creates a feeling throughout all of Season 1, but I feel most strongly in this episode that simply can never be recreated or recaptured. That's not a knock on the newer seasons, it's just an acknowledgement of the pure, childlike sincerity that made this show so great and led to it becoming the monster it is today. The show is a lot more self-aware now, as well as aware of its audience and its place in pop culture. It's still just as well written and enjoyable to watch, but the whole vibe and atmosphere of the show is just ever so slightly different from the earliest episodes. I know that sounds vague, it's hard to articulate, but I'm sure you all understand what I'm talking about. Take the voice acting, for example. In these early episodes, the performances sound a lot more like something you'd hear in a kid's show. Twilight, Rainbow Dash, and Applejack's voices all sound softer, higher pitched, and more feminine. Pinkie Pie sounds more childlike and just ever so slightly nasally. It's especially apparent in her songs. Pinkie has a ton of solo songs and jingles in Season 1, and they all have very simple tunes and melodies, as if they were written for a child to sing along with. So her vocal range is also limited to that of a child's abilities. In fact, most of the music in Season 1 is like this. Then you get to Season 2, and all of a sudden all the songs are getting bigger and more bombastic. They sound less like jingles for children and more like professionally composed movie-quality musical numbers. A song like Smile, Smile, Smile has choruses and choirs and just amazingly layered instrumentation. It sounds like a real composition. And the vocal melody is more complex and requires a more adult range and singing ability.
Smile and life will brighten up your day. It's true, some days are dark and lonely. And maybe you feel sad. Yes, it's perfect gift for me. It's a smile as wide as a smile.
I'm gonna let you finish. But
Drowning in Horseshoes!
I have one of the best videos of all time.
kids can't really sing. Their brains aren't developed properly yet. They just kind of belt out the words or talk sing like Kesha. So even though this song is catchy and amazing and we all love it, the composition itself doesn't really fit with that childlike aspect of Pinkie Pie's character that gets to be on display so much in season 1. And as the series goes on, every aspect of the show attains more pomp and circumstance. The finales become events. The side characters are presented with fanfare, fan service is introduced, callbacks to popular lines are written in with a wink and a nod, and more of the songs are written as ambitious Disney-style set pieces. The show was always meant to be enjoyable to all ages, but in season 1 it was less ambitious about it. This show's incredible sense of sincerity and innocence came from the fact that it was always written for the young audience first and the older audience second. But that's not always the case anymore. The sincerity is still there for the most part, but the innocence has been largely replaced with the self-awareness that comes with a large devoted fan base and the escalating grandiosity that comes with critical prestige. For example, Season 1 had a nice little arc about the main 6 growing closer as friends, starting with the tickets and culminating with the gala. Season 4 also had a season-long arc, but this time the fate of Equestria was on the line. So that's what I mean when I say that certain aspects of the show are different now. Not necessarily worse, just different. More mature maybe, more ironic, more grand. It's not anything to be upset about. All good shows evolve over the course of their run. They have to. It's good. But Lauren Faust's original vision, and by extension the earliest episodes, had a profound innocence to them. They were devoid of irony, devoid of pomp, devoid of the cultural context that would later come to define the show and inevitably be reflected in how it's written and presented. The best way to describe the Ticketmaster is by describing what it isn't. It isn't that brony show. It's just My Little Pony. It's just a really colorful, joyous, cute, well-animated, funny cartoon with characters that are charming and wonderful, and it's all so wonderful and pure and real. The Ticketmaster is real. It is the embodiment of the sincerity that this show represents at its best, with none of the baggage that came as a result of the show's success. It's an episode in a bottle, an idea in a bottle. This, along with the pilot, are two halves of what is the most pure representation of Lauren's vision. I don't know, am I making sense at all? I haven't been sleeping. Ugh, man, I love this episode. You know, I never even realized how much I love this episode until I thought about it. I'm watching it right now as I write this review, and just, having a gay old time. Fluttershy sings the theme song, and then she has that great line where she's like, "Oh yes, we are just doing this for the ticket." And then Pinkie Pie says the oatmeal thing, and that's pretty funny. And all the characters get these great little daydream sequences that just say so much about them with so little. And it's at a point where the characters have only been together for one adventure, so they're still getting to know each other, and you get to see the very first hints, the beginnings of those great, unique interpersonal relationships and dynamics that get so well fleshed out later, and that form the basis of so many great stories. And then there's a Benny Hill sequence, and that's hilarious, and because you don't expect that from a show for toddlers. They wouldn't get the reference. So now you know that this show has jokes for grown-ups too, so you can watch it with your kids or your little sister without feeling like your brain is turning into poop. And they all learn a valuable little lesson at the end about friendship, and it's all so nice. It's so good. It's almost enough to make me forget that bronies exist. Man, my heart, be still, my beating heart. I'm feeling it. I can feel it. I'm actually feeling it again. Oh my God! I can feel it, guys. I feel it again. I remember. Friendship is magic. Woo! Hey everybody, thanks for all the cool fan art you sent me. I have such wonderful fans. I'm gonna show the fan art. That's not all the fan art. I have more fan art, but I can't find it all. It's all on my computer. It's all lost. The computer's broken. I made this review on RPG Maker for the PS1. Send me more fan art. I like it. And if you're a hot girl, send me naked pictures of yourself. I like sluts. I like screwing sluts. Hot girls in my audience, add me on Skype, but only the girls, not the boys. Only the girls, and only the pretty ones, and only the slutty ones. All my male fans, I don't like ya. If you send me a Skype request and you're not female, I will just ignore it like I do all these other losers. So give me all your sluts, and give me all your money on Patreon, so that I can buy Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze on the Wii U. Guys, this is actually really important. I want Donkey Kong. In fact, forget the sluts. I just want you all to send me money. I really love Donkey Kong, and I really love fapping and slapping my big long donkey dong on fat pony booty. Slap, 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 slap.
Pony butts. Pony butts. All agree pony butts. Give them a slap and they always come back. I lived inside a pony's vagina. Daddy, no! Wake up!
What?
This story is terrible! I said I wanted to hear a fun story about the old days, and instead you're going on about fan art and sluts and Donkey Kong, and then you're falling asleep, and I don't know what you're even talking about. I don't even understand!
Well, that's because you're stupid. Now go to sleep.
No! Tell me a story. Tell me about the rabbits.
Alright, fine. Just close your eyes. Picture the rabbits. Okay, Cole? Keep your eyes closed. Now, every spring, Fluttershy goes around all the little rabbit holes with her little bell, and she wakes up the rabbits. Because that's her job. She cares about the rabbits.
Fluttershy likes rabbits just like me.
Yes. Yes, she does. And her favorite rabbit is her best friend Angel Bunny. Her and Angel Bunny, they look out for each other, just like me and you.
That is just like us, because most people don't got nobody to look out for them. But you got me to look out for you, and I got you.
Drowning in horseshoes.